All right. How's everyone out there doing today? I hope you guys are doing fine. I was here earlier and then I decided, what the hey? Why not go back on? So here I am. I'm using a different microphone. I have two types of microphone. This is more of my professional microphone. And then I have this little guy right here. If I don't spill my water. Yeah, this little guy right here. I try to use this that one when we're on uh, outings, but lately I haven't used that one. I should probably start using it. Would probably be a good idea. So my earlier live, I was talking about my little hobby that I do with these wonderful railroad spikes, and this is what they look like when they go on. When they actually go into the railroad, or when they get nailed in for the ties. That's what they use. And then after a while, they get to looking like this. Then they start looking like this. That's pretty crispy. So yeah, but I take the crispy part and I do stuff with it. I'm going to show you guys here in just a few seconds. And I got way too much stuff there. All right. So I take the crispiness and then I make it look kind of like this. Now this is a working. Yeah, see that? This is a working. I'm still working on this one. They're not going to be perfect, but I don't know. That's pretty darn perfect. You can actually see the reflection from here. I polished that so that way it looks so good. It's one of the things I do when I'm train spotting. Sometimes I'll take a look and uh, I'll see these railroad spikes just kind of laying about, and I only take the ones that are really really crispy. I know I got a rather new one here, but yeah, it wasn't being used. So, yep. But anyways, let's see how many people we can get on here. I'm just starting off. I did my first live earlier today, and this is my second live. And the computer I did it on was my red one. You guys rarely will ever see me use the red one because the red one I used on my ghost hunting adventures. So you'll definitely be able to see what I do with that one. I hook it up with my. Actually, I'll just tell you. I hook it up with my Connects, and the little skeleton figure. That's what I use the red one for. And the computer's so out of date. I actually am doing a whole bunch of software updates on that computer. So once it's fully updated, I think it'll work a little bit better. Right now, I have it defragmenting, um, and you really want to make sure you defragment your computers, because if you don't defragment your computers, especially older ones that don't have that much storage on them, they run real slow. So definitely defragment your computers. And if you don't know where the defragment app is, or you're not sure, just down on the bottom of your screen you'll see that nice little search button. Just click in the middle of it and type in defragment. Uh, and by the time you get to the F, it's automatically going to take you where you need to go. So just click on that, click on the drive, and yeah, hit start. Older computers, it's going to take a longer time to defragment. Like my red one right now, it's still defragmenting very slowly. Yeah, I'm only at 11%. I got my cats with me. So I live with two cats. One is Bella and the other one's Wilma. And Bella's staring at me right now. She's on the couch. And in some of my lives, you guys are going to laugh at me. I'm going to have a Christmas tree sitting smack dab in the middle of the living room. And the reason why is there was a box for this particular tree. And yeah, downstairs, open to the elements, it took a dump. A box literally disintegrated as soon as I grabbed it. Because what was it? I think it was the year before last. I grabbed the box and it just fell apart in my hands, and I was like, "Well, that's not good." And to find a Christmas tree box for this particular Christmas tree is rather hard to find because it's an older tree. I know they still make aluminum Christmas trees, but this one's, I mean, it's wire rigged and everything, so it's quite a task to put up. But once it's up, it looks pretty darn good for an older tree. That's really good. I got Christmas ornaments, and yep, I'm jumping to the Christmas tree thing. But this is part of my vlog. I just talk about all kinds of stuff. But yeah, some of the Christmas tree ornaments on this tree are old. I mean, real old. They go. Some of them are handmade by aunts and uncles that are no longer even around anymore. So I honor their artwork by pretty much placing it on the tree. I got candy canes on there too, and you don't want to eat those candy canes. Those candy canes. Oh my God, how old are they? I think. Well, that would be all the way back in 1999. Yeah. Yes, I think some of those candy canes are from 1999. They're really old and, yeah, not edible. So now they're just part of the decoration on my Christmas tree. Oh, I felt a tail. Hey, Wilma. If I ever get her up here, I'll show you guys Wilma. Bella, she's a little bit more scarce. She just kind of sits there and watches, like what she's doing right now. She's just watching. But yeah, as far as going to the railroad track, I might go there on. I usually go there on Thursday, so yeah. So if I can, yeah, I'll probably go there on Thursday. I got enough. I can go there, and don't know if I'm gonna fly my drone or any of that stuff because yeah, it gets a little late. But what I am gonna try to do for the first time is go live at the tracks. Now, some of you guys may know me from my Facebook channel. Um, I'm actually going to go live. I'm probably going to have to do it with this laptop because it's got so much better crystal clear quality for the camera on it. The red one, it's kind of old, like I said, and it kind of shows my face a lot darker on the earlier live. I did it on the red one, and yeah, it made me look really dark, so you could barely see my eyes. So I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna use. And if I do use it, the red one, it's only going to be just strictly looking at passing trains. Um, I can try to tie in. Well, you know what we usually do, anyways. I'll try to tie in a ghost hunt with the trains. Um, And I'll give you a little bit more information about the line itself when I go back out there. Um, and also modern day trains that go whistling on by. Now, I will tell you though, we are just south of Dupo, Illinois. So if you are wanting to know where we're at, you just look it up on your maps, wherever, whatever maps you use, and then Dupo, Illinois, and then we're just south of there. Uh, it's a straight shot from where we're at, straight down to Dupo, or yeah, straight up to Dupo because we're south. So it's straight up to Dupo, and there are some. We did discover that there is some hills between us and Dupo, and they're pretty significant hills. So they don't look it when you look down the tracks, but when you see an oncoming train and you're using binoculars, you can definitely see the headlight of the trains disappearing and then reappearing and then disappearing. So there are hills, and they're obviously significant enough that it disappears. So that solved our issue with the disappearing headlights that we saw. But now that we know all this, now we know that there are definite hills. So the trains coming from Dupo, by the time they get to us, they're going probably 60 to 65 miles an hour. Going the other direction, they're definitely going 65 miles an hour, if not pushing 70. I do know, I think there is a speed limit there. I'm not quite sure, but I do believe there is a steep speed limit. I don't think they can go any faster than 65 miles an hour. It is the Union Pacific line. That's why there are an awful lot of Union Pacific videos on my page, because it's one of their lines. However, you do get a couple surprises with the Union Pacific. We've gotten some Kansas trains that have also decided to make an appearance, which is really neat to see. And occasionally we'll see a Burlington Northern being attached to these trains, which is pretty neat. Now, beyond Dupo, and you start heading north, you're gonna see some Canadian rail lines. They have a major yard that's right there, right there in East St. Louis, over there in Illinois. So I do know, since we've been there before, and we actually did film it, but we got kicked out. And the reason why we got kicked out is, number one, we were a little too close to the tracks, and number two, we were not in a safe neighborhood at all. But it was the daytime, we did get some people looking at us, and then just kind of whatever. But yeah, the location could have been better. There was an abandoned house right in front of us. Not the kind that I would want to go into and explore. Not at all, because some abandoned houses you can look at and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to go check that out. But then there's those that you look at and you're like, no, I don't think I'm going to go check that out. In fact, I'm going to stay away from it, far, far away. That was one of those houses. There was an abandoned car also nearby, and the only reason I know it was abandoned, flat tires, the whole 9 yards. It was totally abandoned. Still had all the windows in. None of the windows were broken out. So it wasn't one of those type of cars. Or it could have been, but I don't know. I'm not gonna go back and find out. Not at all. So yeah, so that's when we found out that there's the Canadian line is down there, as well. BNSF switch over from St. Louis over to Illinois, heading north to Chicago. That's there. And then, of course, we went to, oh my goodness, got a brain fuzz moment here. We went to well, we've been to Alton too, but not for that. We went Rochelle, Illinois. That's it. We went to Rochelle, Illinois, and we saw BNSF and Union Pacific. And normally that's a pretty hefty line. Now in the video that I posted here, it was from my drone, and it kind of shows what they do. They kind of park themselves far away before they get to that crossing. They park themselves, and then they do their little routine of what train's coming through and all that, which you can hear clearly on the radios. So, well, not on the video that I have, because the video I don't have the actual radio communications on it, but that's what we heard. So we had trains constantly coming. If the trains out there were stopped, there was a train inbound, right where we were standing there in Rochelle. There's an actual train park. It's a really nice park. They did a really good job with it. It's got some rails there. Somebody got creative and built a snowman down there. I don't know if it's there. You can watch it. It's live. But yeah, if you go to Rochelle, Illinois live video camera, yeah, you'll see what I'm talking about. And that trip was really good. I've been wanting to take my drone there for a while, and I upgraded my drone to the type of drone that has the automatic stabilizer on the camera. It's actually a digital stabilizer on the camera, and it's real smooth, guys. I'm impressed, and the fact of the matter that we flew it in very cold weather, yeah, I mean, it really performed really well. I had the battery chargers there, automatically charging up those batteries, so that way I can put them right on the drone as soon as they're done charging and take to the air. On a normal battery, I could have been up there for about 30 minutes or so. Not doing too much. I mean, if I went only 100 and what was it? I think it was 135, 150 feet off the ground. I did go 200 at one point because I just wanted to look at the entire city of where we were at, and I was kind of dumbfounded. I thought it was a lot bigger than it really is. But once you get the drone up in the air and it's high enough that you can see the entire town, then that really opens up your eyes to the fact, it's still actually a very small town. And we're just east of west of Chicago. So it was pretty windy. But then when we got to fly our drones that day, it was perfect weather, not too windy. There was some high altitude wind up there while I was flying the drone. I had a little alert thingy on my controller letting me know about the wind. So yeah, it was a little rough up there in the skies, but hey, I got some excellent work on the up there in the sky. That was awesome. So I'm impressed. Yeah. Except for the cold weather. The cold weather, we could have done without the cold weather, but other than that, it was good. The trip back, I know I said it in my last live, but the trip back was borderline treacherous because it was really, there was snow on the ground covering the streets. There was ice underneath the snow. I have an all-wheel drive vehicle, but it doesn't always do what you want it to do. And I slipped a couple times, but I gained control, never went into the ditch. white, definitely white knuckle driving. My knuckles were probably very white. Uh, so, and my buddy and his girlfriend went with me. So, but I know you guys will see my buddy next to me every so often. His name's Nathan, and yeah, he's a pretty good guy. He loves trains. He's the one that got me interested in trains. And then I just took off with the train thing, and I learned everything I could learn about trains. So now I know a little bit more than he does. But yeah, he got me interested in it, and I'm going to switch gears here. Um, but I've been doing like paranormal stuff for years. Oh my god, that's like my favorite thing to do. Um, and I got new equipment, so I should probably show you guys some of my equipment. But some of this equipment, I mean, other people have. So uh, we use our cell phones mainly for the EVPs. Uh, I do have a EMF detector, which is pretty darn powerful. It also detects radons. So, uh, you know, it does a little bit of both, but I like it. It does what I want it to do. I just got myself some cat balls. I know, I don't think I did a video on here about that, but the cat balls, a little red button, you push it and they light up. Set it down on the ground, and it's not supposed to do a thing. So it's supposed to just stay there and nothing happens. So that's what it's supposed to do. However, we have been to places where things do happen. When we go out to go look at the trains, there is a up on top of a hill. There's a cemetery up there. It's a very very old cemetery, and that cemetery has a beautiful broken in mausoleum. It was broken into in the 1960s. The owners of the place have updated the photos, so yeah, it's really neat to go in there, knowing that people were actually in there at one point. Not a lot of people were though. I did find out there was only about 5 people that were actually in there, but there is definitely room for a heck of a lot more. But anyways, so they broke in, they messed it up, and then caretakers came in and pretty much gutted it, uh, made it a lot nicer. It looks a lot better. There's still some graffiti in there. Go figure. People are always going to do graffiti. I wish they wouldn't, but they do. And then let's see. Uh, there's a lot of mud dogs, which are made by wasps. So there's a lot of wasp nests there. Some of them are very old and falling apart, and I think some of them are completely abandoned altogether. So, um, yeah, I might do a live in there too. Some of these places I want to do a live in, believe it or not, I've already done a live on Facebook, but this is YouTube. So I'm going to try to do a live and see where I can go. And yeah, hopefully I can get more subscribers. I've got 8 subscribers right now, and I am grateful for all 8 of you guys that have subscribed. And I want more. I want 100. I want 100,000. I mean, I really want to. I really want to get out there, guys. I want to. I want to do stuff. I want to get YouTube to. I want to get paid, honestly, through YouTube to do this stuff. You know, because I've got so much I can do. I can do some crazy freaking videos using my cell phone and all that stuff. But right now, I got to just use Wi-Fi hotspot and my laptop until I get, you know, I need to get 50 guys. So, yeah. All right, I won't push anymore. The last video earlier today, I pushed a whole bunch for 50 subscribers. So yeah, I know it's going to take a lot of effort to gather people, to get you guys interested in what I do. And I do a lot of different things. I was going to eventually do one with the Christmas tree, but I had to throw that out since the box no longer exists. So I got I got trips coming up. I got one in well, I already did the Rochelle one. And I've got another one coming up that's in Kansas. And that's going to, for all you ghost hunters, that's going to the Sally House. But in the process thereof, I'm also going to pick up another person who wants to come with me and ghost hunt. So that might be the start of our ghost hunting tour. I'm hoping so. I got to do some other ghost hunting stuff around here as well, just to, get my name out there. So, yeah, my channel is Nate's Adventures, and the reason why it's Nate's Adventures is because the trips, getting there, that's the adventure. The friends that you're with, the friends that you're going to meet along the way, that's the adventure. Just the love of getting in your car and traveling. Some of these places are super far away and cost a lot of money. So yeah, and I'm not gonna. I want to try to do a hotel. I prefer a hotel over a motel. I don't know about any. There might be a couple places that I might stay at that are haunted, that I'm probably just gonna turn this on and whatever happens during the night happens. So so I'll do that maybe. Yeah, I might take you guys once I get this thing on my cell phone, I plan to go live a lot more. I won't have all my fancy setup here. I won't have my mic or any of that stuff. I might bring the other little mic with me just so you guys can hear me a little bit better on windy days, because that mic does have a wind blocker on it. So it will actually eliminate the wind. And I have tested that mic out in a very, where we go watch trains, and that cuts out almost 99% of the wind. You might get a little whistle here and there, but other than that, it's super clear. So, yeah, you might see more of that wonderful mic. That mic also changes colors as well. So this doesn't change colors, of course. But, I had the little fluff thing on here, but then I took it off. Didn't really like the little fluff thing, so I took it off. And plus, I don't think it really matters. Except if you're like outside, and then you probably would want the fluff thing on there. But yeah, I took it off. So yeah, hold on, guys. Oh boy. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. I won't do this too many times during my lives. I'm trying to figure out what happened here. Who sent what? Okay. It was nothing important. Okay. So yeah. Another thing later on down the road is I definitely want to do meet and greets. Who doesn't want to do meet and greets? So yeah, I will do meet and greets once I get a good enough audience, and I need a lot of people for this to happen. So yeah, so yeah, 50 subscribers gets me to use. I can use my cell phone. I can go live on my cell phone, and all you guys get to come with me on all my wild adventures. Until then, I got to take my laptop with me everywhere I go. So that way I can go live. And then that way you guys can stay in the know of what's going on. And I'll also try to talk about my videos because I've got a nice selection of videos, starting with the one where we were at the St. Louis Transportation Museum and we took a tour of the car. So I'm probably going to do that one again. So yeah. And oh yeah, when we were ghost hunting recently at the tracks, I lost my my gimbal. Yep, my gimbal to hold my cell phone. I lost it. It fell on the concrete and it's still actually semi in one piece. But in order for me to have that fixed, I'd either have to send that in or it'd probably be just the best thing just to buy a brand new one. So I'm probably going to end up investing in a brand new one because that one's a lost cause. And I'm not going to hot glue gun it or anything like that because the gimbal inside the little rotator area where it got damaged is actually there's like a little shelf in there where the little thing sits, and that that got crushed. So there's no shelf in there, and there's no way for that thing to just stay put. So it would just spin around in little circles. So yeah, it's pretty much busted. So, I mean, doing what we do, you gotta be kind of mindful of where you have your equipment. So I am trying to get more mindful of that. And yeah, so and I had a really weird setup anyways. Um, I had I had two tripods, and one was holding one, and the one was holding where my cell phone was, and the other one was holding where I have a game camera where I was trying to capture stuff there. And cars kept coming up and down the road, and I accidentally knocked over the tripod that had my gimbal on it. And boy, I felt really bad when I saw that in pieces. So, yeah. So, I'll replace that and I'll be fine. Everything will be just fine. Sorry, guys. My cat, Bella, just went right behind me. Again, I will show you my cats right now. They're just kind of all over the place. So, and I'm doing a pretty good job with this evening thing. Everybody's home, eating dinner. I am not eating dinner. I'm having problems eating, guys, but it'll be fine. Also, I'm trying to lose a little weight. Back to my travels. Sorry, I keep bouncing all over the place. One of my travels is going to be an international travel. Yes, international. I will be going over to the Philippines in September. Huge trip. So, passport and all that stuff. I'm pretty much ready to go. All I need is their airplane ticket, and boom, I'm out. I will be in the Philippines, and yes, I will bring my drone with me, and I'll have to bring my laptop along as well, so that way I can do a live. Hopefully by then, though, I will have so many subscribers, I can just take my cell phone and I'll be set. By the way, I do edit my videos on my cell phone. I don't put them on my computer and edit them. I actually edit them on my cell phone. It's been good so far. I'm good with the results. When I start doing the ghost hunting videos, I'm going to have to get a little pickier with those. I am not going to add music to my ghost hunting videos. I want to be a little bit different from the other ones. I want to, mine's going to be pretty much raw video. No music, none of that. Not even arrows. Not even arrows. You know, I'm pretty much relying on everybody out there to tell me what they see. Because sometimes the camera will pick things up when you're not looking at the camera, or you're just kind of looking around trying to get your bearings on where you're at. Because being in the dark, walking around, eventually you're going to need to take a break. You're going to need to stop. You're going to need to look around, kind of get your bearings on where you're at. And when you're with a group, you want to kind of gather the group together and just kind of, you know, get it all together and then go at it again. Because I know sometimes people will get really scared, and then if you're like ultimately scared, you're screaming, and then you're at the point of crying. Yeah, we'll probably go to what I like to call the HQ, and we'll just regroup and go back out again after everybody has calmed down. Everybody's safety is my number one concern, you know. So when I do a walkthrough, I'm looking for stuff that I could accidentally trip on, so that way I don't trip on it when I'm walking around in the dark. And yes, I will be walking around in the dark sometimes. I'll be taking, you know, pictures in the dark, aiming cameras. What I would hope is the hallway, because once you get used to the dark, your eyes start seeing things more than what the camera sees. I really wish the camera were like human eyes, where you could just, you know, have that very low light vision and just, oh yeah, I see that. But unfortunately, none of the cameras in the world do that. So they're getting close. But they're quite a ways away from actually, you know, being able to see in the dark without buying night vision. And we do have night vision goggles, I guess you could call them goggles. My buddies is more advanced than mine. Mine are battery operated, which kind of blows, but I'll upgrade that so that way I can just plug it in and recharge it, because yeah, it's driving me crazy right now. But you know, I still have them and I can use them, and they're pretty good. Pretty good. I recorded a couple videos with them. Nothing too impressive, just like practice videos. You know, put the batteries in, pointed it into the darkness, turned on the night vision, and recorded just a little bit of, oh look, nice night vision. And it goes all the way up to 7. And I went all the way up to 7, and then I watched my battery slowly drain down to nothing. I was like, oh wow. So yeah, so I can only stay at 7 for a little bit. But I'll probably buy like regular batteries and put them in there, because I'm pretty sure they'll probably last a little bit longer than the rechargeable batteries I'm using. And yes, I love using rechargeable batteries. I'm sorry, but I love it. I love charging those little bad boys up, watching them go. But sometimes you have to charge them and then use the effect of what you're doing. But yeah, flashlights. I got 3 flashlights. I got a little bitty flashlight that works just fine. There's a push button in the back. It's got the little emergency blinking light. And then I got one that has a rechargeable cell in it. That one I like a lot, because I charged that flashlight in September of last year, and it's still working on the same battery power. And it really hasn't gone down any. And I've used that flashlight a lot. I used it the last time we were at the tracks. I used that particular flashlight. And then I have one that is ridiculously super bright. And yeah, I love that one as well. But again, it uses batteries, and I'm actually actively looking for a power pack for it, because I think there is a power pack for it out there somewhere. So I'm going to get that power pack and recharge it and slide it right on into that flashlight, so then I don't have to worry about it, because that would last me for a long time. And all the flashlights I have are waterproof, and I have actually tested all of them, dropping them into a tub full of water. So yeah, they work really fine. So yeah. Oh boy, what else can I talk about? Um, Usually when I go on trips not that far away, I pack so much stuff. I have a little carry-on case for the airlines, but I pack that bag with all kinds of electronic equipment and everything, and uh, it's great because everything you need is right there in that bag. So I have that. Um, so yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to do all this fall when I go on my trip to the Philippines. I'm still trying to figure out what I should do. I do have a huge cloth bag. It's actually sitting right next to me on the floor. Knowing how I packed that thing just to go down to or to go up to Rochelle, I'm going to have to figure out a different way of packing that suitcase, because I got to smush that and 3 weeks of clothes in this bag. I may have to invest in another bag, but yeah, and it's a pretty big bag. I mean, it's huge. So yeah, I can definitely pack a lot of clothes in that bag. Um, I was able to pack everything, including my carry-on. So I packed my carry-on as well when I went up to Rochelle. But this is a little bit different. I'm not going to Rochelle this time. I will be going overseas. So I have to make sure everything is in there. So yeah, that's going to be fun. I have to plan ahead. So, oh boy, just thinking about it right now makes me, woo. I got ways to go though, but still, years fly by, as you know. Um, yeah, for me, years have flown by so much. It's crazy. I can, sometimes I go on here and I look at videos and commercials from back in my time, which was the 80s and 90s, and you're just like, wow, like that was like the biggest thing back in the day, and now it's like no one gives a care about what happened or what you enjoyed back in the 80s. But yeah, I'm definitely an 80s guy. Um, I kind of like a lot of sports. I'm a, yeah, I kind of like a lot of sports. You won't see me watching too much sports, but I do watch some sports. So yeah, I'm kind of a hockey fan. Kind of lost touch of the hockey thing over the years, but I'm still a hockey fan, and I'm definitely still a baseball fan. And sometimes I go on the old family outing to the ballpark. So yeah, that's pretty cool, and I enjoy that. So yeah. Um, Pool parties. My friend's family has a nice, decent little pool, and we go to their pool party every so often. And I try to do a live out there so many times, not through YouTube, but this time, maybe you guys will be part of that. I will try my hardest to do that. I will have to do it on the laptop, and I will have to point it towards the pool. So yeah, it's the closest you guys will ever get to being in a pool party. Unless you have your own pool party, then that's pretty cool too. Because yeah, I want everyone to have fun out there. You got to have fun with your life. Because if you don't, it can go away so quickly, and you'd be sitting there going, "Boy, I could have done this, 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 or this, but I didn't. I didn't do anything." So yeah, try to get out there and do stuff, people. It sometimes it's easy, yeah, and then sometimes it's hard, and I understand that because some people it's harder than others. So I've had my share of where I've had some really really hard times. And I managed to get through. So yeah, if I can get through the hard times, I know everyone else can too. So yep. Well, I think maybe tomorrow I will be continuing my work on these railroad spikes. I might do it live. I should do it live, so that way you guys can see me work on these things. And it's not an easy task. Um, it can be bad, and I know what bad is because I suffered a eye injury a while back. Um, I was using the grinder, and when I was using the grinder, I had my safety glasses on, but it kind of rode down on my nose. I wasn't paying attention, and a piece of metal from not from this one, but it was from another one, uh, flung off this and went right into my eye, and I had to go and get it taken out, and that was not pleasant at all. Oh man, uh, I kept on flinching as they tried to pull it out of my eyeball, and oh my god, they finally got it out of my eyeball, and I was fine after that. But yeah, so I double check every time I'm grinding. You'll see me kind of pushing the glasses all the way up because I just don't want that to ever happen again. And I did use the little spinny thing to clean off a piece of metal, and this is the copper spinning wheel, and yeah, it it flew off. A lot of this just kind of flung all over the place, and it's all over the floor. And sometimes when I'm walking through, I will actually step on one of these little. Ooh, one just fell on one of these little metal pieces. And this is metal. It's a metal wheel. It's a wire wheel, and it does fling apart. Apparently, I just barely touched the metal with this, and it did that. It just all that flew off. So when you're doing this, there we go. When you're doing this, definitely wear safety glasses, like I do. So yeah, always make sure you wear safety glasses. Also, make sure your equipment is in good operating order and works. This is my little grinder I use. As you see, I have some grinding paper on here. This is 32, 35, somewhere around there. And I've been working on this bad boy. Uh, this is the rough side of it. And this is the clean side. Well, not all of it's clean. So my objective here is to get all those little bitty holes and all that stuff cleaned up. Once I have that all cleaned up, then I'll smooth it out, and it'll take some time. It takes, oh god, it takes hours, and eventually it'll look like this. This is not the complete one, but you can see all the little scratches in there from sanding. You can see divots in there. Those are divots that I have to sand and try to get rid of. I try my best to make it really, really good. As you can see, there's some more divots. Yep, it's all over the place. I think this, let's see. Yeah, I mean that looks pretty good. There's a dent right there and an impact dent right there. So yeah, and the edges on this thing, they got some sharpness to them. So I'm probably going to take care of that as well because I don't want to cut anyone's hand. And then eventually they will look like this. This is really, I mean, I spent days and hours trying to get this one going. It's a little rough right around here, and that's a hard area to get to, but I will get to that eventually. I did the head, the impact head, as you can see, really, really shiny. I mean, that's so shiny you guys can almost see me in there, but yeah. Um, yep. I got a whole bunch of railroad spikes. And that's what I like to do with them. I like to make them look really, really good and shiny. And what in the world was that? Okay. So hopefully I get more people to come to my life. Oh boy, do I really need that? And then we can chat. I will chat back to you guys. So yeah, I will even put a hi on there. Oops. There we go. Put a hi everyone. Sorry guys, I'm just messing with my thing on here. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, I hope I get more people on here tomorrow. Um, I'm gonna start my I'm gonna start working on my railroad spikes. So hopefully you guys will come and see that. Um, it'll probably be tomorrow, either tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, Central Standard Time. It's really hard because I know there's people all around the world. So yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's about it for this live. Um, I hope more people come to the next live. I really need to get 50 subscribers. Please help me out. Um, you guys will get the rewards later. I promise you on that one. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching this. If you were on the live, hello. But I don't really have anybody that came to this live. Oh well. Well, hopefully more people come to the next one. I love you guys and stay safe. Uh, life's an adventure. Enjoy it. All right, guys. Until next time. See ya.